The other day I was having a conversation with a guy at work, and this conversation is actually probably going to turn into at least 2 videos. But this is someone who claims to be a Christian. I'm not saying they are or aren't, but in the course of this conversation that we were having, abortion got brought up. And in the state that I live in New Mexico, it's basically an abortion sanctuary. Like, hey, if you want an abortion, come on over here. And you can call the Satanic Temple here in the city of Albuquerque, and they'll hook you up right over the phone with some medications to cause you to have an abortion, to lose your child. But this came up, and I said, abortion is, never necessary. And he said, well, it's never necessary unless it's rape. And then I said, well, rape is not justification for killing someone. And he got literally, like, he was livid. He was mad. He's like, so you're telling me, so if my 13-year-old daughter gets raped, that it's wrong for her to have an abortion? I was like, you don't punish the unborn. You don't punish the victim for someone else's crimes. You punish the guy who raped her, but you don't punish the unborn baby for someone else's crimes. Now, also, why would you punish your daughter, your 13-year-old daughter, who just had this traumatic experience with this rape? You cause her to have more trauma by going in and getting an abortion, by forcing her to go in and get an abortion. That is a trauma that neither one of them can ever, go away. There's always going to be something that's burned into the memory. But to then know that you went and killed a child, that's a trauma that you just have to live with for the rest of your life. And a lot of people would say, well, why would God let something like this happen? Well, first of all, we live in a sinful, fallen world. People are sinful, and they're going to do sinful and evil things, like rape people. But that is not justification for us to kill an unborn baby because of somebody else's actions. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know anything necessarily about God when it comes to his sovereignty. Everything that happens, he allows to happen, and being sovereign over everything on this earth. And it's a hard thing to comprehend. But everything happens, he allows for a reason. Whether it's a sickness, an illness, a death in the family, it doesn't matter. He allows it. And to take this 13-year-old little girl, put her through the trauma of getting an abortion after she was raped, put her through more trauma, you have no idea what could have been with that baby. Could have been the next Billy Graham. Could have been the next, doctor, or name a thing, great evangelist, or anything like that. God always has a plan. We're not hardly ever going to understand this plan, but we have to remember that God always has a plan, and murdering an unborn baby because of somebody else's crimes is never good.